I decided to have a doula because I wanted a medication-free home birth, and I just didn't have the confidence to.
So I decided to work with a doula because it was my first pregnancy. I was very much set on having a positive experience, regardless of the outcome. I wanted it to be positive. I wanted to look back on my birth and be happy with how it came out, how it happened. And for that reason, my husband and I decided we wanted to go with a doula.
I think one of the initial thoughts when you hear hypnobirthing is that people think it's a really hippie thing, and maybe not for them, and they're really sceptical as to whether it will work. My husband was definitely like this. But Nicole is really good at being able to answer questions, but also try and find out scientifically why things are that way and why they work. And that's not just so that she can say to you, this works because of this. It's because she doesn't want to tell you that something doesn't work unless it's backed by the science.
On Christmas Eve I started to have horrific rib pain, and it was more than just a contraction pain, and I spoke to Nicole, and Nicole encouraged me to speak to the midwife, who then encouraged me to go into the hospital. All through Christmas and up to his birth on 27th, I was in constant contact with Nicole. Nicole gave me the confidence and the guidance to know that actually the pain I was feeling was not a physiological birth pain, it was pathological, there was something wrong. And that pushed me to go to the right outcome for me, which was a caesarean, and to get the caesarean that I wanted, not to just go with what they wanted. And that made a huge difference because, as I said, I ultimately wanted a positive birth, and I can categorically say I look back on the specific birth and say that it was positive, and that is thanks to Nicole.
My husband, like I said before, was very sceptical about the whole process. He definitely just went along because I said, I want to do this and you're coming with me. And then his mindset seemed to change when he began to learn more about it and went through the process with me. He was a crucial part of my birth, and a lot of the focus during the sessions is on the birthing person, but it's also on the importance of the birth partner, which I really liked, because it meant that he understood his involvement within the room at the time.
So I would say quite anxious and scared about the journey of what having another baby would be like, but Nicole just makes everything feel nice, relaxing, and
towards birth was definitely, oh, I'm just not going to think about that until I have to. And then as I did start to think about that, and I started to go along to these sessions, the hypnobirthing definitely made me think about it more in a positive way. Nicole creates such a warming atmosphere, and I think normally when we talk about birth, we're in very sterile environments, like at the doctor's or in the midwife's room. Nicole's setup was stunning, like fairy lights and a really warm, welcoming feeling, and that definitely helped me to then start with those positive mindsets towards the birth and towards my thoughts about birth. I think the biggest impact that hypnobirthing had on me mentally was changing that narrative, so making sure that my mindset had changed from the idea that birth is painful and stressful and sterile and involves people doing things to you or having things done to you, to the idea that birth can actually be this completely empowering experience that is different and individualised for everyone. Nobody will say, oh yes, my birth is exactly the same as yours, and it shouldn't be like that. So you have to take what you learn from her and make it your own and enjoy trying to work out how that's going to look for you. For me, that looks like lighting candles, putting my diffuser on once I got a bit further along, watching Pixar movies, notably Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, and all of these things I wouldn't have done if I didn't know about them through Nicole. I think another thing that Nicole introduced me to was the wave comb. Now, even in the session with Nicole, I sat there and I thought, this isn't going to work, this is a load of tosh, and I'm not even going to think about this on the day. And then the wave comb was placed into my hand during labour, and it did not leave. It was definitely one of the best tools that I used throughout my birth, and I now recommend it to every pregnant woman that I see anywhere.
I didn't think I'd be able to achieve it, but with Nicole's help, I was able to.
I chose Nicole because we felt so comfortable with her. She's just such a warm presence, so down to earth, so easy to chat to, makes you feel comfortable whenever she's in the room, and she just owns the space. Like you know that when she's in the room that everything will go exactly how you want it to go, and that it was an instant connection, I think.
I think if you're watching this and you're thinking about going for hypnobirthing sessions, you should definitely reach out to Nicole, and if you've got any questions, ask them to her, but also just go for it. It's not going to negatively impact your birth, it will only have a positive impact. And if it's something that you're thinking about, then it should definitely